Hi, good morning. It is December 7th, 2020, and I am here to talk about some Hoyas and a couple of Aroids I picked up this weekend that I'm kind of excited about to show you. So for now, I'm going to start with the Hoyas and then move on to the Aroids, so it won't be a long video. So let's see, for starters, let's start here with Hoya AH074. I believe it's a Carnosa type clone sport that developed, and it gets these really nice splashy leaves. The trick is to keep the leaves from reverting back to all green, and for some reason I must be doing something right because these are all still pretty good. Every single leaf is different. Some have a lot of splash, like you can see there, and some don't. But they consistently put out splashy leaves, so this is a nice plant to have. Really like it a lot. Not picky either, just normal growing conditions. I think it's like a Carnosa in its growth habits, so it doesn't require really hot, humid conditions to thrive. So yeah, pick up AH074 if you want a beautiful Hoya that's very easy to care for. And now I'd like to talk about Hoya species Germany. There's some confusion about this Hoya because some people think it's Hoya Jennifer, which is not. The leaves get much bigger, twice as big actually, or wider. And the veining is different, the flowers are different. So it's definitely a different beast. And the name says Hoya species Germany, which is another mystery because there's no Hoyas growing wild in Germany. So I've heard rumors that it was some German that went to Thailand and picked it up somewhere there and brought it back to Germany. So whatever the story is, it's one of the most beautiful Hoyas in my collection. So I'll just briefly talk about it. I think it's one of the Philodendron type Hoyas. It has the veining and the splashiness that are characteristic of the Philodendron Calliciphylla group. So one thing that is very distinctive about Hoya species Germany is that the leaves get quite big, as I will show you here. Like they can get as big as the size of your hand. So they're quite different in that way from Jennifer. So they get really nice splash. The back of the leaf is nondescript, but it gets really thick, almost like cardboard leaves. So you want to keep this on the drier side. Other than that, it's not a difficult Hoya to grow. And it seems to grow well here. It grows faster in the summer when the humidity is high and it's hot. So yeah, this is Hoya species Germany, and it's one of my favorites because it's so easy to care for and has really showy leaves and quite a beautiful plant. So I would get it. This Hoya went around up until recently as Hoya SLM3, Hoya species SLM3. It has really gorgeous succulent leaves that are probably up to 8 inches long. And it's quite a beautiful Hoya. I like its growing pattern. Almost looks like Hoya species Cuminquina. But the flowers on these are quite stunning. They're really kind of furry, the inside structures around the corolla. So quite the beautiful flower and quite the beautiful leaf. It's succulent, so you do not want to overwater this one. So let it dry out completely. between waterings, so as you do not cause it to have root rot. So Hoya, the new name, by the way, is Hoya sulawesiana. It just recently been published, so quite a beautiful Hoya, and I'll put up some pictures in the video so that you can see what the flowers look like. But the leaves are quite a bit large and succulent, so quite a beautiful Hoya. And next Hoya I want to talk about is a Hoya fusca. It's a tricky one for me. I've had some in the past that have died. So I have it growing experimentally here in perlite and some coconut fibers. And it seems to be doing pretty well, and it's putting out new growth. This Hoya has actually quite beautiful leaves. As you can see, it has a nice back midridge, and the veining up in the front of the leaf is kind of horizontal. That's one of its distinctive features. I've actually seen this one out in the wild in Thailand near Nucleum C. Tumarat up in the hills. So it's apparently a cooler grower and not one of the easiest Hoyas to grow. But this one was sent to me recently, and this is a fusca clone from Laos. So hopefully I'll get better luck with it and maybe I can bloom it. But I will put up a picture of someone's Hoya fusca so you can see what the flowers look like. They're quite stunning actually. So I will share that with you. So this is Hoya fusca. Hopefully I will keep it alive to bloom it. So wish me luck on that one. And for Hoyas, I think I have one more here. I have Hoya meredithii. I get a lot of questions of people asking me, is meredithii the same as Philodendron? And I don't think it is. I think they've been published separately, and they look different to me. The leaves on the meredithii get quite larger, and they have like a distinctive wavy edge to them, where the Philodendron, they're pretty much a little bit narrower. The veining is similar, but the edges are kind of like straight, and there's no rippling of the leaf. So these are actually not the biggest of the meredithii leaves I've grown, but you can get an idea of what a Philodendron compared to a meredithii will look like. So the characteristic wavy edges and the really beautiful veining on this Hoya is spectacular. I keep getting these tree seedlings falling into my pots. I keep finding them all the time. I think the squirrels bury it on them. I've seen it happen, so I have to constantly remove the tree seedlings from my pots. So if that's one of the hazards of growing Hoyas outside year round. So yeah, this is Hoya meredithii. Hope you like it. And the last part of this video, I'd like to go over some Aroids that I picked up on Friday at Equigenera in Orlando. And I like all tropical plants. I was born in the Azores, which are 9 islands off the coast of Portugal, and that's a zone 10. So we had palm trees and a bunch of tropicals that grew year round, and it never froze. So there was lots of palm trees and cacti, and the islands are beautiful. If you haven't been to the Azores, definitely check it out. There's 9 islands and they're all very distinctive. So growing up there, I moved to the United States when I was 10, and I moved to Boston area, and it was cold and miserable, but I've always had an interest in tropical plants, and so I always thought, oh, wouldn't it be great to move to Florida and grow them there and have lots of plants everywhere. So I guess Swiffer decided to join me. So like besides, sit down Swiffer here. So besides Hoyas, another one of my interests are Aroids and begonias right now. And let's see what Swiffer is going to do next. She might ruin this video, but let's see. So what else do I like? I like gingers. I find them very interesting. And I also like collecting orchids. So this weekend I picked up some orchids, which I don't have time to go over today. I'll just go over these two aroids that I have. One of them is an Anthurium crystallinum, and I really like these leaves. They're really high contrast veining. It's really showy, and nothing says tropical like one of these veiny Anthuriums. So I'm really happy. I hope I can keep it happy. I have it in the greenhouse and keep it 60 degrees at night. So hopefully it'll be satisfied. And I try to keep the humidity at also above 65-70%. So it should be doing okay there. So I'm really happy with this Anthurium crystallinum. Also picked up a Philodendron verrucosum El Choco. And the lady that sold it to me told me that El Choco, I think a lot of people think it means chocolate because it has a chocolatey brown back to it. But it's apparently from an area in South America called El Choco. So here we have it. It's Philodendron verrucosum El Choco. It's quite beautiful. I like the brown back and the veining that it gets. And it seems to be easier than some of the other verrucosums that I have. So yeah, this is a very nice aroid that I hope to make happy and grow out and maybe have some available for sale later. So that is Philodendron verrucosum El Choco, and that is the end of the video for today. So I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I will be more motivated to do more of these. I really enjoy it and love getting feedback. So if you notice that I said something incorrectly, please comment below. And just in general, if you want to comment, please do so. So thank you. Bye-bye.